Good morning, YouTubers. Time for a spot of royal tea. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment. So Meghan has been crowned. Okay, remember Jay-Z and Beyonce? They did a portrait of Meghan with her crown. Melanated Mona. Well, Meghan has finally achieved her crown. Meghan has been crowned Britain's top social climber of 2019 by Tatler magazine. The editors rule she has reached the pinnacle of the greasy pole. Tatler said she found the role which suits her, bringing the royals into the 21st century. Also, House of Commons Speaker John Bercow follows in the list of social climbers, and in third place is model Jerry Hall, who was married to the guy with the tongue. The singer with the tongue. Can't get no satisfaction. How can I? Mick Jagger. So Jerry Hall was married to Mick Jagger, and now she is married to billionaire media magnate Rupert Murdoch. So, all right. Let's. Oh. Okay. All right, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, the pinnacle of the greasy pole. Not quite a rags to riches tale. Meghan was privately educated, and her scapegrace father won an Emmy for lighting direction. So he paid for all her schooling. But the Ralph and Russo-clad beacon of change has found a role that suits her to perfection, a tungsten toughie to drag the royal family into the 21st century. Describing the Duchess's, okay. The Duchess has previously been labeled a social climber by broadcaster Piers Morgan and even estranged members of her family. In an interview with Australian television in March, Piers said, "Although some people really like her, I'm afraid I see a bit of a hard-nosed actress. She's been using people on her way up to what is now, of course, the top, which is marrying into the royal family." Okay, she very famously, let's just read that. Piers Morgan recalled, "I had a couple of pints of real ale and she had dirty martinis." So they met up at a bar before she was hooked up with Harry. She said afterward in the cab, quote, "I had a great time. I would love to see you again." It was purely platonic, Piers added. She went in that cab that night to a party Prince Harry was at, and the next night she went on a date with him. I never heard from her again, ever. I don't like people that behave like that. It's kind of rude. It showed me that she, I'm afraid, is a bit of a social climber. Okay, he also weighed in, Piers Morgan also weighed in on his show, Good Morning Britain. Addressing her A-list ascent to royalty, a snarky Piers told viewers, "She's worked hard for that. I think we should just take it at face value. She's worked very hard for that honor, and I congratulate her. Great social climbing, the climbing littered with the carcasses of those who once knew you, littered around." Okay. Let's take a look at this. So Meghan has been awarded a great honor. I say that tongue-in-cheek. Okay, so did Meghan attain her high position in life primarily through deception or hard work? There's a hashtag that I follow on Twitter occasionally called hashtag Duchess of Deception. So did Meghan achieve her high position primarily through deception or hard work? You know, is she like a social climber, or is she just is the best of the best? Deception or hard work? manifesting. Okay. Did Meghan achieve her high position through deception or hard work? Hightower, the highest place. Broken relationships on her way to the highest place. So her path is littered with broken relationships on her way to the highest place. So she damaged a lot of relationships and just tossed people aside on her way up. Cornerstone behind, solid foundation, good intentions, heart. So she built a foundation of people that want to help her succeed. Then she tossed them away. Okay, crossroads, four-leaf clover, magi, manifesting opportunistic opportunities and changes in direction. 9 and 13, 22 through many people. So she definitely used people on her way to the top, and she discards them. So her primary thing is to develop relationships with people who can help her, and then she just tosses them aside when they're no more use. Does Meghan lack empathy for her father? She seems to have really tossed her father aside. She's also tossed aside Piers Morgan, which very much upset him. Does Meghan completely lack empathy? Okay, because that's part of the narcissistic personality disorder, and we should read that. Does Meghan lack empathy, for instance, for her father? Hand in hand, cross, straight razor. So let's read the narcissist. There's, oh no, I have it here. There's several. Okay, narcissistic personality has an inflated sense of self-importance, needs excessive attention, has troubled relationships, lacks empathy for others, and is vulnerable to the slightest criticism. Okay, a lot of that does sound like Meghan. So does Meghan just completely lack empathy for her father, for instance? Hand in hand, many people, cross, permanent relationship and burdens, and straight razor. Cutting the permanent relationship, cutting relationships with many people. 8, 14, 4 diamonds. She just cuts them out. 8 hearts, water into wine, and olive tree. 8 hearts can be a deception card. 8 hearts is transforming these relationships for her benefit. So 14, yeah. So when she's done with somebody, she just cuts them out. There's no feelings here. The only heart is the 8 hearts, and that's a transformation card. So she is kind of a bit of a user, and she just discards people when she's done with them. Is Meghan hypersensitive to criticism? Because she's always getting her friends to punch back. Oh, okay, Oprah, the Clooneys, Elton John very recently, Jessica Mulroney, Priyanka Chopra, Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen DeGeneres just came out and said she snuggled Archie. She visited Frogmore and snuggled Archie. I think we're going to have to take a look at that. Because, you know, Ellen DeGeneres, she probably made a trade there. You know, hey, you give me the first exclusive after you leave Harry, and I'll tell you what, I'll tell the whole world that I snuggled Archie, and Archie's real. Okay, so is Meghan hypersensitive to criticism? Sun exposes all. 3 blackbirds. Everything exposed. Committed. Okay. Diamond ring, union, exposure, and talking. 4 and 6. 2 diamonds. Okay. She's very committed to fame. She's very committed to fame. She's really committed to fame. In the underlying, we have angel, you know, appearing as an angel, but angel and bad relationships. 11 and 6, 17, 5 hearts. She always wants to be seen as an angel, irregardless of whatever she does. It's all about fame. She wants to keep her... is she hypersensitive to criticism? She wants to keep her reputation very good because she wants to be famous. Okay, and if her reputation is bad, then she won't be famous. She'll fall out of favor. People won't like her. So she always wants to be perceived as an angel. I know other people who do this, irregardless of what they do. And the people who demand to be, you know, viewed as angelic are often the worst people. So she really wants to be viewed as an angel. She wants to be famous. Yeah, and she keeps her dirty deeds hidden. Okay, so is Meghan a pathological liar? She obviously fibbed about paying for her own schooling in Fiji. That is, you know, that's not a gaffe. That's not an oopsie, because her father paid for all that, and that is just straight up lying. And so one of her first acts as a duchess, she went to Australia and she told a really big lie. So is Meghan a pathological liar? Because, you know, you don't forget that your father paid for all your schooling and sent you to private school. You don't forget that. Okay, you're grateful for that and you're thankful for that, but you don't just forget it. Okay, so is Meghan a pathological liar? 10 spades, 10 hearts, 3 hearts. Wow. Oh dear. Okay, is Meghan a pathological liar? We have some very negative cards here. Earthquake, cup overflowing, roses. Cup overflowing is very emotional. She's always playing the victim. Okay, that's Meghan is playing the victim card. Okay, this adds 23, 6 clubs, olive tree, deeply rooted. Earthquake wipes out everything before, and roses. So she speaks very emotionally, and she wants to be viewed as an angel, and she wants to give a really good impression. And 10 spades wipes out everything prior. So is she a pathological liar? Yes. Yes, she is. Because it's like she has no memory of what happened before. The 10 spades wipes it all out, and she is in the moment just, you know, being a victim and trying to get sympathy, garner sympathy, and, you know, like Pharrell Williams. Oh, they don't make it easy, Pharrell. You know, she's a duchess. She's risen to the highest place. This is as high as she's ever going to go. And no matter what happens after this, she's never going to rise higher than, you know, the Duchess of Sussex. She's never going to rise higher than that. Okay, so she's always speaking very emotionally, and it's like, yeah, she's a pathological liar. What happened before is irrelevant. She wants to make a good impression and get sympathy and play the victim in the moment. And that's the foundation of what she's doing. Here in the hidden situation, we have scapegoat and coffin. And that's 12. Conflicts, 3 spades. Scapegoat is the illness card. Coffin is secrets and hidden. And also dead emotions. This feels to me like she'll do or say anything. She is a pathological liar. That's interesting. And it's like she has no memory of what she said prior. Okay. Did she? Yeah. I also answered that question. All right. Let's see what we have here. We've got a lot going on. Let's see what we've got. All right. So we did a mini. Did Meghan rise primarily through deception or hard work? Well, the cards wanted to answer that she rose to the top, and her path is littered with broken relationships. So on her way to the top, she broke a bunch of relationships. All of her relationships are to help her to advance. That's her thing. Okay, to some degree, that's not unusual. Piers Morgan expected Meghan she was developing a relationship with him, he was developing a relationship with her, and they could help each other. Okay, but he didn't expect to be tossed aside so easily. That is where the contract was broken. So all of her relationships are for the purpose of rising in the world. And she's manifesting new paths for herself very opportunistically through all of her relationships. So the answer to deception or hard work is, it's a combination. All of her relationships are for the purpose of rising to the highest place. And she does discard people, okay, without a thought. Does she lack empathy for her father? Well, she cuts relationships from everybody. She does the same thing to everybody, and these relationships are all transformative. So this is more along the lines. She kind of uses people. She uses people to rise to the top. It's not black or white. It's not right or wrong. She needs to honor those relationships and have empathy for those people. Okay, so does she lack empathy for her father? She kind of lacks empathy for a lot of people. These relationships are for a purpose, and that purpose is to advance herself in life. A lot of people do that. It's a matter of degree. Okay, is Meghan hypersensitive to criticism? It's all about fame. It's all about fame, and she only wants to be perceived as an angel, and so she is willing to do anything to hide her bad. The things that can, interrupt this rise to fame. Okay, and that's what we're seeing. So she is kind of hypersensitive. I mean, anybody who wants to be perceived always as good, always as an angel, that's impossible to do. Okay, and I do know people like that, and the people that I know like that, they'll do anything to maintain their image, their angelic image, and it's a false image. Okay, and Meghan is doing that. Is Meghan a pathological liar? Yes, absolutely. And these are the most interesting cards. These cards and these cards are the most interesting. The whole read is kind of interesting, actually, and this is also interesting. It gives insight into her character. But she just doesn't remember anything before. She's always a victim, and she's always appealing to your emotions and wants to give a really good impression. And the truth and what happened and who did what is completely irrelevant to her. And it is an illness. This is an illness, and it's a conflict with reality and her personality. So she really is a pathological liar, and facts and circumstances and truth is not important to her. Making an emotional connection and appeal to you is important to you, and she'll say whatever. And that's I know a guy like that. Okay, I know a man like that, and he's always, he'll lie to you about the coffee that he's drinking. He'll lie about anything. And it's because he's trying to impress you. He wants you to feel that he's an important person. And I think that's what Meghan is doing. She's making an emotional connection, and she wants you to like her. But that creates problems later because people see inconsistencies, because she is inconsistent. The past, truth and the past and everything, it doesn't matter. She's going to make an emotional appeal to you and connect with you that way. So that's what I see. Let's all congratulate Meghan on her crowning as Britain's top social climber of 2019. That's your royalty today. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment.